Okay, so when I was maybe around 10, my family took a road trip to Florida, to Orlando, to go to Disney World. Orlando. And I have always been a bit of a strange guy. And as a kid, as a kid, I was pretty strange.
As a kid?
That was too easy. That was too easy.
Strange is beautiful. I love you, whoever you are.
That's right, Marley. Look for the strange ones. Not too strange, though. Because that gets weird.
This was, almost 30 years ago, long before the days of pagers or cell phones or GPS tracking or anything. And I've always been a wanderer. I just kind of walk off, and I walked off, and couldn't find my papa, my mom's dad, who was there with us. I couldn't find my brother, who was, I think, 11 or 12 at the time. And there was no way to get a hold of them, so I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on the monorail. So I may have been 8 years old. And for those of you who know 8-year-olds, that's not a good feeling to lose an 8-year-old, I'm sure. And so I ended up like la 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 la, riding the monorail, going to like Epcot Center and Universal Studios, and then finally, this is first thing in the morning, by the way, when the gates opened, and finally I'm like, oh, the parks are closing down. I'm gonna go back to Disney World and see if I can find my family. At Disney World, which is really easy. So I went back, I couldn't find them. So I just left.
What did you do?
Where did you go? Did you grab a cab?
Uber didn't exist. So I was like, well, I couldn't find them at Disney World. The fireworks were over. So I started walking out, and my pawpaw was waiting by the exit. Crying. He'd been crying all day. And he thought I'd been kidnapped, so he was waiting by the exit to see if somebody tried to walk out with me. And I was like, Papa, hey! And he's bereft, he's a grandfather who thinks because I think my mom and my Mimi, my grandma, had gone to like, I don't know, we're supposed to meet him up or something. And so he felt responsible. He thought I'd been kidnapped. And so he had just been waiting at the entrance. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a funny story, but I'm alive. I'm alive.
This is tragic.
How old are your kids?
How old are your kids? I don't want to talk about it. Listen, I've like injected them with GPS tracking devices, so I'm good. I know me, and I know I know half of their blood, so I'm on them. I can track them right now.
I'll give you a quick one. I was playing. My brother and I were in the not the front yard, but the side yard where we grew up.
How many yards did you have?
It was like a shared yard between the house next to us, but that's where we always would play.
Did you hear about the two houses that fell in love?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They had a long distance relationship. My bad. Norton, that was great.
Till mine.
Anywho, my brother and I were playing some game that was like soccer, but not. We kind of made up our own rules, made up our own games and stuff. But there was this one little tree in the center of this yard, and he kicked the ball, and it was it went past me and it was going to go into the goal and he was going to score, but it bounced off this tree. And so, stupidly, I ran up, and I was, maybe like 8 or 9 or something like that. I ran up and I hugged the tree. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I pulled my hand out, and there were 4 yellow jackets sitting on my hand. And I looked at them, and it was like time slowed, and I think they all 4 looked up at me and just went, and they stung me, all 4 of them, on each of a finger.
They hurt bad. They hurt bad.
And I was like, ah! And so I went running to the front door to our house to run in and grab my mom, and I was hurt. And my dad had just installed, so there was the front door, but then there's like, those glass doors, it's like a screen door, but it's glass. So the door was open, but the glass screen door that was just installed was not open. Wham! Laid me out, and the entire time my brother's going,
Hey, took your mind off the yellow jacket.
sure did.
Thank you.
Good times.